Hi there, I'm going to guide you through a breath practice that helps to open up the lateral rib cage and the side of the lungs. It's an excellent one for all of us to be doing right now. A lot of people often ask me what is the best breath practice, and honestly there's not one that is the perfect breath exercise. All of these different breath exercises offer something different. They're all trying to achieve a particular physiological effect. So all breath practices are positive. You just need to understand what effect you're trying to achieve with the breath practice that you choose, and choose the right one for you in any given moment. I will try to explain the ones I'm teaching as I go along. So this one, you can absolutely do it in a seated position as I am now, but if you want to get it even a little bit more targeted, I would suggest lying on your side. You can cushion under your rib cage, your upper rib cage, just above the bra strap roughly, with any kind of cushion, pillows, or blankets. Depending on how big a thing you've used, you can support the head as need be. So basically what we've done is we've created a balloon effect of the top rib cage. Arm alongside the body, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. On an inhale, we're going to bring the arm overhead and allow the shoulder blade to slide right up into the ear. On the exhale, bring the arm down by your side and allow the shoulder blade to slide back down towards your pelvis. So we're going to keep going with that same pattern. Inhale, arm overhead, shoulder blade comes right up into the ear. Exhale, arm and shoulder blade come back down. So you keep going at whatever rhythm honors your individual breath pattern. If I'm going too fast or too slow for your rhythm, you go with what feels best in your body. The reason we're adding the arm and shoulder blade movement to this is because the lungs are encased inside of our rib cage. We have 12 ribs on either side, and every rib makes 2 joints with every vertebrae. So that makes 48 joints between the rib cage and the spine, and that's the cage or the basket that houses our lungs. So it's a really great way to add some extra expansion to the lungs by getting some movement through the rib cage and the spine, which we're doing partly by using the arm and shoulder blade to pull the ribs up as we inhale and bring the ribs back down as we exhale. And we're changing the angle of the spine by lying over some sort of bolster or cushion of some kind. Let's do one last one on this side, and then we'll repeat the same thing on the other side. So once you finish that one, just pause for a moment. You can close the eyes and do what we call a soma scan, where you're just doing a little check-in. How does your body feel now that you've sort of opened up one lung, one side of the rib cage? And we're going to compare that to the other side in a moment. So take your time. If you're on your side, use your arms to press yourselves up to a seated position. Take your time to switch sides. And you're going to set up in the same kind of way, where you're using whatever you've got available to you to create a ballooning effect of that top rib cage. Support the head if you need to with extra cushioning. Depending on what you're using, you may or may not need to. Arm alongside the body, inhale, arm overhead, shoulder blade comes right up into the air. Really allow it to slide along the rib cage. On the exhale, you bring the arm and shoulder blade back down. So again, you're going to go ahead at your own rhythm. Follow the rhythm that feels natural for your body. However fast or slow works best for you today. And if you start out at a bit of a quicker pace, and as you do the breath work, you notice that you're able to slow it down. Slowing it down helps your nervous system to slow down a little bit. So going a little slower in these times is always a good idea. You can just notice whether one side felt different than the other. Did you find it easier to fill one lung compared to the other side? Do you find it easier to move the rib cage on one side compared to the other? Do you find it easier to glide the shoulder blade on one side compared to the other? And again, we're using the movement of the arm and shoulder blade to literally pull the rib cage up with us. Those lungs are right underneath the rib cage, so the more space we create in the ribs, the more space we create in the lungs, the more oxygen we can get to the rest of the body. Inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way down. Let's do one last one on this side. Inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way down, and then just pause there with the arm alongside the body, eyes closed. Do a little soma scan, a little check-in. Notice, how does the body feel now that you've done both sides? How has it changed your breath? Or has it? There's no right answer. Just observe, and without judgment, notice what is going on. And then gently open the eyes. You can use your arms to press yourself up to a seated position. And I recommend one last little soma scan in any seated position that's comfortable for you. Eyes closed. And just take 3 breaths in and out through the nose. We actually should have started like this now that I'm doing it. And you just want to compare, how does your breath feel now that we've opened up to the side? How does it feel now compared to before you started? And hopefully you feel that you're able to get a little bit more expansion into those lungs, a little bit of a fuller breath. And if that's not the case, there's no judgment, it's okay. You can just keep doing this breath exercise, and over time, the more you do it, the more space you'll create, the more capacity in the lungs you will create. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Use it as often as you would like. And again, if you don't have the opportunity to get into a lying down position, you can do the same thing in seated. So inhale, arm overhead, shoulder blade slides up. Exhale, arm and shoulder blade slide down. You could add a side bend to the body and inhale, shoulder blade up like so. Exhale, arm and shoulder blade come down. So those are variations that you could do if you want to do it all in seated. Thanks so much, and I'll look forward to seeing you again for another one.